Alright, today I want to talk about the two best mods that you can do to your Honda CRF 450L or CRF 450RL. I figure people will figure out what one of them is, but I don't think you know what the second one is. There's tons of mods that you can do to this bike. Some of them make the bike really good, some of them completely change the bike, and some of them just, I don't think they do a whole lot. You'll see a lot of people who buy this stock and run it stock. And lots of people do it. They ride it several thousand miles completely stock. But two mods that I'm about to tell you, the best mods you can do on the Honda CRF 450RO, you don't have to buy these mods, but they make it way, way better. And the first thing is, I have the Get ECU in here. It's from Moto. Taco Tune with Moto maps already in it. I'll put links in the description for it. But you can do the wireless, the Wi-Fi module, so I can switch maps with my phone. It also helps me, the Wi-Fi module also helps me set the TPC control. It's just packed with features. Now, if you own a Vortex already, I don't know that it's worth upgrading. I know like Star Yamaha and like Hayden Deegan, they're running Vortex in their bikes. The Get ECU is being run by Honda in the Supercross. Or the Lawrence brothers, Hunter and Jet, Chase Sexton, they're all running the Get ECU. The Get ECU is pretty fabulous. It changes the bike. It changes it completely. It's a different experience. You put the Get ECU in and you don't have to put aftermarket exhaust on it. You could leave the stock exhaust on it. I'm not saying that you have to get an exhaust. I'm saying that you should get the Get ECU from Athena. But when you open the exhaust and you open the air box and you're letting more air in and more air out, you have to control the fueling, and that's what the Get ECU does. It controls the fueling to allow you to uncork these bikes where they're corked up to meet EPA regulations. But when you get them, you can open them up, and adding the Get ECU just makes it spectacular. One of the problems is the throttle response from the stock configuration is it's not pleasant. And a lot of people will run it stock and say it gets better, and yeah, it can be ran stock and it's fine. But with the Get ECU, it's way, way better. And that's the number one thing. It gives you more horsepower. I'm not sure how much. The Taco Moto Tune maps are not trying to squeeze out the highest amount of horsepower out of these bikes, which I'm fine with. You could probably get more horsepower out of it if you want. What Taco Moto is doing is they're not maxing it out. That gives you longer service intervals. You're not running the engine so hot, so it's gonna last better. You can feel a noticeable difference on the bottom end, the middle range, even the high end with the Get ECU. It's pretty nice. But the throttle response, it makes it a lot better. It's not so jerky and on and off because the stock configuration, so it's very twitchy, very jerky, and it takes a lot to get used to, and it's just not that great of an experience. So it helps it. It's a 450, so you still have to clutch it at those lower speeds, right? It doesn't tractor real well, even with the Get ECU. It's definitely tractors better than the stock configuration. I don't know which mod is number one or number two, but the other mod that I want to point out is it's the Steahly 7-ounce flywheel weight. So it's adding 7 ounces to the flywheel. I'll put links in the description. You can get that at Taco Moto. For me, it's not the easiest thing to put in. You have to crack open the engine, and I'm not real crazy about doing that stuff. And if you have the right tools, it's easier. You want the flywheel pulley to help pull the flywheel off, and then you want the gripper to hold it so you can tighten it down to torque. I struggled with it for a little while. I lost one of my little things, and I finally found it and got it put back on, but it's more of a job than I wanted to do. But this thing is excellent. It's worth it. It's worth the hassle, in my opinion. The extra flywheel weight allows the motor to rotate on its own. It gives it more momentum to rotate on its own, so it tractors better in those lower gears. And you have to clutch it still, but you don't have to clutch it near as much. And I'll show you what the effect is. You can see the effect. The way the throttle feels now, it's incredible. Between having the Get ECU with the more power and then the extra flywheel weight, just the throttle responses, it's worth every penny. I feel like now with these two mods that my throttle and power is just set up. It's set up excellent. I guess it takes time for that flywheel weight to spin up, so it's smoother and it just takes off. And I feel like I still have all the same power. Maybe it's pulling just a little bit of power out of it, but I don't think so. It doesn't feel like it. It's just so smooth. These to me, like, I have a lot of things on this bike. The seat concept seat to me is pretty awesome. The Mako 360 is pretty awesome. The fuel tank, the IMS fuel tank is awesome. But these two mods, I feel like you almost have to do it. These two mods are the best two mods you can do to your 450 RL. People say I don't do it, and I've been running it stock, and you don't need to do that. You don't have to, but it's way, way better experience. It's a way, way better throttle response. It's smoother. It's just, I really, really like it. You can get both of these at Taco Moto. Links are in the description. The Get ECU by Athena with the Taco Moto Tune maps, link below. And then the Steahly 7-ounce flywheel weight. It's pretty awesome. Check them out, Taco Moto. But alright, let me demonstrate what this flywheel does. The throttle response is just way, way better now. So smooth. But see, I let the clutch out, and you just barely any throttle, and it's smooth, right? If I just barely touch it, it's smooth. Not a problem. But here's the big thing. The clutch is out, and I'm off the throttle, and it's tractoring on its own. This is what the flywheel does. I got the clutch out and no throttle, and it doesn't die. It wouldn't do that before, right? So it helps a tractor. It's that slow speed tractor. And the throttle response is just great. Just barely touch it. It's not super jerky. It's amazing. Now I'll hit it. It's excellent. For me, both of them has just changed the bike completely. It's like my 790. It had a lighter flywheel weight, and when the 890 came out, they put more weight on the flywheel. Because on the 790, when I'm going slower, I have to clutch it. Like this bike in stock configuration, I would have to clutch it right now and feed the clutch out a little bit to keep it running and to keep going. And the 790 was the same way, so the 890 is definitely better. See, and I hit it, it's there. The hit is there. But it's just that first, as soon as I barely touch it, I see, like, it's not jerky. On, off, on, off. It's not all jerky. And I don't feel I'm losing any power, honestly. Because it's there. That hit is there. Hope you liked the video. Give me a thumbs up. You got any questions, comment down below. There's other ECUs you can get, but I think the Athena GET ECU is the one. Thanks. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.